Hi, my name is Zoe Dreyer, and welcome to my very first podcast of Zoe Dawn at Dusk. I live in Colorado, and it's been snowing, so I thought that what better way to start off my podcast than to talk about seasonal depression. The Google definition of seasonal depression is a mood disorder characterized by depression that occurs around the same time every year. That is a very broad topic, so I think we should start with the bad parts of seasonal depression and just the bad parts of the holidays and everything, just as one. So, to start it off, the hardest part of seasonal depression is having to sit with yourself. During the summer, it's always go, 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 and you're out, you never really stay home. Or at least with my experience, I don't like to be home in the summer. I like to be outside. I love the sun. I love the water. I'll work a 12-hour shift, but then still go to the lake. I just prefer to be out. It makes me happiest. So when I am home, when the winter and forced to be home, my mood does change. And usually I'm very depressed. I sleep all day. I fuck up all the habits that I've worked on really hard all year. And then it's a never-ending cycle. Then I have to go back to therapy in the spring, and then I'm fine in the summer. And just being forced to sit with yourself, when you're like used to being outside, but you have to be inside, it can be very hard. And obviously it's going to be different every year. It's going to be either harder or honestly even easier the older you get. All of the things that you go through that you don't process, you're forced to kind of think about. Just about friendships, about loss, about financial situations, about what your one coworker said about you, just everything you sit with. And obviously there's a lot more in between and a lot of even worse things. And just being forced to sit and think about it and the way that you handled situations can be very detrimental to your mental health, because it causes you to just feel really shitty about yourself, because you could be like, oh, I could have done this better, or why did I respond that way? Why did I react that way? And it is a beautiful thing though, but again, when you're forced to be inside and you're forced to, it can be really hard. It can lead to a lot of substance abuse. It can lead to alcohol abuse, drug abuse, marijuana abuse, just everything. And it can cause a lot of addiction. So not even just substances. It can be shopping, it can be eating, it can be sleeping. The winter is a hard time. Obviously, there's the holidays, so you have to spend money on... You don't have to if you celebrate, if you don't. Again, if you can afford to, if you can't. But just sitting home, especially now with social media, everything's at your fingertips, so it is so easy to get into debt. You can apply for a credit card online, you can go shopping online, it can be delivered to your door by tomorrow. And getting that dopamine during these really depressing cold months is a very bad addiction to get into. Same with eating. Even if you weren't strict about your eating before, let's say you always just eat kind of whatever, in the winter you're home, so you eat more. When you're bored, you eat more. You eat bigger, fattier things. I feel like in the summer I tend to eat a lot more fruits. I eat just a lot more vegetables, like tomatoes. I love tomatoes in the summer, but in the winter it's cookies, it's all of these casseroles that everyone makes, it's soups, and just you can get into a really bad habit of binge eating. And again, when you're inside, you watch movies. What do you do when you watch movies? You usually have a snack with it. Not saying that it's bad, but it can be bad if you abuse it or do too much of it, especially constantly. Binge eating one night a week isn't gonna even really affect you. It's when the one day a week turns into the weekends, that turns into every day you get off. And again, to each their own, because you can balance it out other ways, but it just still isn't the best for you. And sleeping, like, I know my biggest thing, I fall victim to both of those, but my biggest thing is sleeping. I can probably sleep a full 24 hours if given the opportunity. And during the winter, when there's nothing to do, I tend to just sleep all day. And on my days off in the summer, I usually sleep until almost noon, 1. But during the winter, I can sleep until 3 or 4 just because I have nothing to do. And there just are really bad, again, habits to get into, substance abuse or just those habits in general. And along with that, during the holidays, you can feel very lonely because, again, you're by yourself. That's why you start doing, like, using those substances. That's why you start forming those habits. Just because it's harder to get out. It's harder to meet with people unless it's more intimate. So there's not as many parties and going out. There's not as much, what's it called? Like grill outs and stuff like that. It is a lot more, you kind of are closer to certain people than others. And again, don't get me wrong, things are open, but it definitely isn't as much and as constant as the summer. So people tend to feel a lot lonelier, or people work a lot more, again, because of the holidays. They need more money, so then they see their family less, they see their friends less. During the winter months, especially once you get closer to the holiday season, suicide rates are the highest just because, again, these can be new emotions. These can just be people are tired of it. It is very hard for people around the holidays, so it can lead to things like that. And you tend to also get very content in the holidays. You are okay with, I mean, again, to eat, like, sometimes that's what people need. You kind of hibernate in the winter. And having to be, like, doing the same thing every day, falling into a routine of going to work, coming home, getting under the blankets and doing absolutely nothing. And again, having no hobbies or interests or not spending time with people you love in between can be very dangerous. And kind of going off of the holidays, the holidays are just a very stressful time in general, again, with financial situations. Also with grief, the winter, again, having to sit by yourself with grief is hard. It's what you need to do with when you heal, but it's almost like the winter and holidays force it upon you, and some people aren't ready yet, and again, that's okay, but the holidays does force it, and that's why it is a harder time. And when you have the holidays, it is stressful, it is a financial burden, but when you to get the food, to get the gifts, to decorate, to travel, it is hard. And so, but once you're there and you get to see your loved ones, and then since if those loved ones you got to spend it with previously, you can't spend it with anymore, it can be very hard. And again, make people very depressed. And not saying that grief ever goes away, that's a whole nother thing to talk about. But it's amplified during the holiday seasons. You could have lost someone a month ago or 10 years ago, and it still is never going to feel okay. Obviously, there's ways that people tend to honor their loved ones during the holidays, but it will never be the same, and it's always going to be at least a lump in your throat. So those are just some really bad things about seasonal depression, why it occurs, why some people hate the holidays, why some people hate winter. I know, again, I live in Colorado, and there's so many people that move from here because they don't like the winters. It's hard on them to be trapped. I've never really spent a winter in another other than North Dakota. I have spent a winter in North Dakota, and that sucks. But like, I've never spent a winter in like California or Florida, and those might be completely different. I'm not really sure, but I know at least here in Colorado and again in North Dakota, it's just kind of, it's hard. It's hard for all of those reasons and many more I didn't talk about. But to kind of bounce off of that and talk about some of the good things that can come with holidays, going off of the being forced to sit with yourself, again, sometimes you're not ready, but sometimes it's the push you needed. So it can cause you to be like, maybe I do overspend. Maybe I don't need all of this stuff that I'm buying. Maybe I do react poorly to feedback at work. Maybe I'm inconsiderate when it comes to my friendships, and that's why A, B, and C happened. Again, it's a time to be forced to sit with yourself. I know during COVID was the hardest just because I think I was 16, 17. I was 16. And so for when I was 16 to 18, I had a lot of traumas as a kid, as everyone does. But again, I was forced to sit with myself, so I did a lot of healing and a lot of changing during COVID, but it doesn't stop. There's always things in the winter that I do. But being forced to sit with yourself, you realize these habits that you're forming that are negative, or these thought processes you have that you weren't really aware of before. And it can be good. It can cause you to change for a better person. It can cause you to form better habits. And it also gives you a time to form these better habits. So you're able to, again, if it's important, you will make it happen. But during the winter, you're not as busy going out. There's not too much to do. So you're able to form new habits and hobbies. You're able to actually make a night routine. You're able to make a morning routine. You're able to say, hey, I want to start stretching or doing Pilates in the morning. You're able to do those. Obviously, there's also the running and going for a run in the morning, going to the gym. But it's cold, so sometimes you don't want to leave your house. So the stretching and Pilates works too. But it gives you the opportunity to form these new habits. Even little things like ensuring you brush your teeth twice a day, making your bed in the morning, just picking up your house the night before, just a little bit of everything. It gives you the opportunity to form those new habits. And they're small, but they do make a change. They show that you care about yourself enough to make your bed and brush your teeth in the morning and to create a good environment by cleaning up. It can also cause you to make new hobbies, and make time for hobbies you previously had. So, for example, I've been off the last 3 days because of the snow. It was supposed to be a lot worse than it was, so my job closed down. And then today's I didn't have to work, so but I haven't painted since I started my new job, and I've been so busy. I went back to school. I haven't had time for myself. And so to be given the opportunity to paint, it was so quick and easy, but it just brought me a lot of peace. And it's something that I don't think I'm going to stop again, because I'm like, wow, like that took an hour out of my time. I was on TikTok before when I was like, busy, but now I have the time to do things that make me happy and that I love again. I was able to, I don't know if it's really a hobby, but I'm gonna count it as an expensive hobby. I've had Legos since last Christmas and since my birthday that I finally built, and it was just so much fun to kind of separate myself from social media and just from people and the people that I'm around, and to be able to purely be focused on the moment, which is also the beautiful thing about the winter, is you're more focused on the moment and you're not so go, 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 which can also help with your anxiety. Again, it's all about the way you view it. You can be like, oh, I'm stuck at home, or, oh, I'm stuck at home, but I have really warm socks on, if that makes sense. Anyway, I also started playing the guitar again. I haven't really played the guitar I did a few times in the summer, but it just felt good to be able to sit with myself and remember why I do those things, because they make me happy. They fill me with joy. Yeah, I like to be busy, and yeah, I like to make money. I want to get my degree, but it's also important to kind of step back and be like, whoa, like I need to ensure that I'm doing my hobby, like doing these hobbies that I enjoy. And also form new hobbies. You can do the ones that I said, or journaling. You can um, embroidering. Even this, like, this is a new hobby for me, and I'm trying really hard to stay consistent with it because I love to talk. I'm a Leo, I love to talk, and this makes me very happy, and I like explaining basic topics like this and just kind of going off of it because it's so much deeper than just seasonal depression. I don't know why I quoted that. I promise it's not like, but no, and it's important to, it gives you the chance to make those new hobbies and just to see what you like. Obviously, there's other hobbies, like I know horseback riding's a big one, skating, with the winter snowboarding, skiing. In Colorado, it's kind of hard to go skateboarding, but also it's not always snowing, so it's fine some days. But just giving yourself the time to form these new habits and hobbies, um, as well as kind of a good thing about winter and being stuck at home is it is the either the end of the year or the beginning of the year. So again, with those hobbies and creating those routines now and kind of sitting with yourself and realizing what you need to work on so that way you can either have a great rest of the year, you can um, realize what you want to do better next year. You're given the time to kind of figure out what's important to you, how you want to end your year. Maybe you had an amazing year and it's just enjoying that and being grateful for that, for being able to be given all these opportunities. I did a lot of traveling this year. I went to Texas, I went to Hawaii, I went to California, I went to all of these beautiful places, and I am sad now that my traveling's over for the year. I know it probably would be a good thing to go traveling, but I am done for this year, and just being able to, it is bittersweet because I wanted to do more, but just being able to be grateful for going for the traveling. It was my 21st birthday, so being able to celebrate and go out during the summer and just be around people that love me. Like, I am very grateful for this year, and I'm grateful that I'm being given this time to reflect and kind of sit back and be like, yeah, it's a lot more calm now. It's not as go, 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 but I am so grateful I did everything I did. I'm grateful I took the risks I did. I'm grateful that I wasn't as nervous and shy as I was. And just being grateful for all of that. And there are new habits I want to form, and there's still 2 months to finish out this year strong. I took a lot of time at the gym this year, and the last couple weeks it's been cold and I've just been busy, so I haven't, but I still have 2 months to finish off the year strong by still going to the gym. I started in January, I'll keep going. And again, given that time to kind of sit and realize next year I want to be more consistent with it, and to kind of be able to plan out my goals and to set myself up for next year financially, mentally, just everything. And again, I'm a very big journaler. I really big at journaling. I don't know the correct terminology, but so I enjoy kind of doing a reflection, and this is just a beautiful time to kind of reflect and think of it positively. Again, because sitting with yourself, it can go either way. It's gonna be messy, it's gonna be shitty, but it's gonna be worth it. But you don't always have to think about the bad. You can think about the good, and I think that's kind of how you get through it. It's important to think about the bad. It's there for a reason. It's important to kind of heal from it. Some things, again, are harder than others, so it's okay to do it in dosages and to even not do it yet, but the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. Another really good thing about this time of year is just the holidays. It can be a bad thing, but it can be a good thing too. Like, it is fun, and even if you lose loved ones, it can still be a beautiful thing. I love lights. I love Christmas. I'm not a big Thanksgiving person, but I do like having an excuse to be with my family. But I love Christmas. I love Christmas movies. Everyone tends to be a lot happier. or at least pretend to be, but it's very, yes, I just love being around Christmas. I love decorating. I love Christmas trees. I love just like the little penguins, the little bows, just everything. Um, and one of my, I think my biggest love language is gift giving. I love gift giving, and to be able to kind of think all year long of, not all year, but I do spend a lot of time being a little bit more sentimental with my gifts I give people. I don't like giving gift cards. I don't like giving like just socks and stuff. I think I'm a really good gift giver, and I just love being able to show the people around me that I listen to them and I care about what they say and things remind me of them. So it just makes me feel really good to be able, I have a spending problem, so I like spending money, but I like spending money on people that I love and to show them like, yes, like I do care about you. Um Last Christmas I did the smallest gifts. Like my mom, she has been talking about wanting to, she she's been complaining about, not complaining, but about wanting a new purse. Like she wanted a nice adult purse, as she calls it. And I was able to get that for her, and it meant a lot to her. And she really, really loved it. And I listened. It's blue. It's Coach. It's all of her favorite things. But also, one of my close friends, just the smallest conversation we had about how much she loves Nutella, and every time she goes to the store with her family, she gets Nutella. So I found like one of the little Christmas jars of it and gave it to her. She loved it. Again, the smallest thing, but it meant the world to both of them. Or I like to think it did, and don't tell me different because it will hurt my feelings. But it just shows that I listened to them. And kind of also going off of the holidays, the activities that come with it. I love going to look at lights with my boyfriend. I love going ice skating with all of my friends. And there's so many more, but I can't think of them at the moment. But I genuinely do love the activities that come with the holidays. And again, they're not as constant, but they are fun. So, like with the summer, I definitely am out more. There's a lot more to do. But in the winter, it's maybe once a week I'll do something. But it still is fun, and it just puts me in a good mood. And as a kid, Christmas has always been a big deal for me. Obviously, most kids, it's like just bright and vibrant. And with my grandma, she made it a really big point to decorate. And holidays were really special growing up. Like we did the Santa tracker on Google, and my grandma would fill up the stockings like the whole week up to Christmas, and she decorated. She had her little village. It just was really fun, and just reminds me of my youth. And I think that, and being a kid, and I think that that's the biggest thing, is it just makes me feel, it kind of heals those little kid parts of me. And yeah, also some other fun things about winter are the clothes. I like summer clothes. I just don't always feel comfortable in them. I've always been a bigger girl, so I do try to push myself with what I wear. But in the winter, it's nice just to have a sweater and some leggings or sweats and a sweater. And I don't support Uggs just because maybe it was just one bad YouTube video I saw, but I just don't like them. I wear Bear Paws, but my Bear Paws, I love the earmuffs, the scarves, the gloves. It's just so nice to just feel cozy. You don't have to worry about the way that your figure looks. You're just kind of like, oh, like I'm here, and it's just so much more comfier, and I have usually more fun. I also just love seeing people's outfits. I feel like in the winter is layering. Everyone can put on a good summer outfit, but in the winter with layering, it's more of a talent, I guess you could say. So I just really like seeing what people throw together. I'm a very big art person, so being able to kind of, I feel like it is a form of self-expression, and how much everyone's at different situations, everyone does different things, but I do think it reflects yourself a lot, the way that you put yourself together. So I do like watching what people can kind of throw together. Another fun thing about the holidays is the drinks that come with it. Previously, I would just do coffee. So I love like Dutch Bros' hazelnut truffle mocha. Oh my god. I love Dunkin's what's it called? Cookie butter. And then I love Starbucks's caramel brulee and sugar cookie and their cranberry bliss bars. That is the one thing that oh my god. Like, I just love I love coffee, and I love holiday coffees just because they're just so, they make you so warm, and they're just so sweet, and oh my god. And I love that they always change their branding and their cups for holidays, so you just feel a lot more in the mood. Like, Dutch Bros just got new straws, which was so cool. And Starbucks has even changed the little sleeves to where they are like, almost look kind of like a snowflake, and it's just so, I don't know, it just definitely makes you feel a lot more just happier and in the mood and all of this stuff. Also, now that I'm 21, I'm excited for all the fun cocktails that I get to have, because I always see them on TikTok, like with the little snow globes that you turn upside down and it has like the alcohol, but then the snow globe has like the mix. Oh my god, I'm so excited to go to Applebee's. I just experienced Halloween for the first time, like Halloween drinks. I've never really had like a cocktail until I turned 21, because like I'd have shots, but like with chasers, but like the fanciest thing I think I had was wine. But no, I think I'm really excited to see the holiday ones, because I think they're a lot more fun. And again, it's not that I don't like Halloween, but I just like Christmas a lot more, so I think this is going to be more fun for me. But I think those are probably some of my favorite things about the winter and the holidays. There are new things that I do want to try this year. I really want to try to not let myself fall into those habits. I don't want to be lazy. I want to allow myself to rest, but to an extent. I don't need to waste my whole day sleeping and scrolling through TikTok and binge eating. I need to still ensure that I'm not, even though it's cold, I need to make sure that I'm going to the gym and not spending as much money and just doing all of these things. I also do want to try some new activities this year. I want to try snowboarding or skiing. I live in Colorado. I've never been. I really want to try a lot more restaurants and of those cocktails for the holiday seasons. I also want to I've never had a Friendsgiving. I want to do that this year. I just think that will be really beneficial for me, and to remember that I am loved. I think even though the holidays and just the winter in general can be really hard, it's still important to, again, take it in doses. Don't just don't overwhelm yourself. Take baby steps. You know what you're capable of, and your baby steps are different to someone else's, and it's important to not compare the two. Again, you never know what someone's going through. People are never going to fully know what you're going through, and that's okay. You don't have to explain yourself to people. It's important to be grateful for what you have around this time, just because it can be very difficult. Even if you're not having a bad year, it's still important to make sure that you're grateful, and that you're just overall being kind to yourself. And again, being patient with yourself, and that to push yourself. Try new things. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and spending time with your loved ones this winter and holidays. I think that's it about my rant of seasonal depression. Yeah, thank you so much for letting me talk for almost 30 minutes. I think, again, the biggest takeaway is to be kind to yourself. Everyone's going to be on different paths, And if all you can do this winter is just survive, then that's okay, because you're still trying and putting your energy towards something. Even if that's all you can do, still try and do something for you, even if it's something small, like wearing your comfy fuzzy socks more, or buying your favorite candle and lighting it more often. Because it's important to prioritize yourself as much as you can, not just always, but especially during the winter and especially during the holidays. Yeah, thank you all so much for listening to me talk and for joining my very first episode of Zoe Dawn at Dusk. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all so much.